Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and this time we're going to be checking out Lewis Hamilton's new brand, and it's another non-alcoholic brand. And so it's very interesting. This space is picking up. We have Beto, Aviation, and I think Dwayne Johnson has something, and so non-alcoholic Spirit. Let's check it out. Let's check their branding. Let's check the brand strategy, and let's see what we have to talk about. Gurjinder, are you excited?
Yes, I am. And this is the next in line of a series that I don't think we wanted to do, but we just got into it, which is celebrity-backed new brands that have been launched. And one thing I'll say in the beginning, you said like Aviation Gin. I think that is the alcoholic.
That is alcohol.
Yeah, that is a real alcohol. But then there's also non-alcoholic versions which we're seeing come up. And so what a funny trend that we're seeing. We saw real alcohol beer in general, and then we moved to seltzer, hard seltzer, which was a lighter version of beer, and now we're completely on the non-alcoholic route. So let's see what we got.
It's actually good that these innovations are happening. So let's start with Almave. What's your first opinion?
Very crisp. I'm seeing some new things done. I like how the text of the heading and the call to action are right next to each other, kind of blending in. But it's like, it's such an interesting kind of placement. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So what I'm excited by is I'm seeing some originality. I like the photography here. I think the photography is very strong. I like how zoomed in it is. So I'm seeing some good things.
Honestly, you're right. I mean, the only thing is this part feels a bit empty, but that's because just, whenever this hero images come up, we are kind of always thinking of having something here because the photography is here and then a call to action button. But this is a new alignment, something new for sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's too bold? The type? Is it too chunky? Or it works for you?
I think it works because the logo on top is really much the same thing. And funny enough, the logo and the packaging doesn't feel as bold and pronounced, maybe because it has sort of that stencil effect that is like, that is the real life physical printing effect. But I like this direction. I think it's different from maybe too much serif, which we saw Barrow doing. So this is very bold. This feels minimalist, but at the same time maximalist.
Only thing is, we would have liked a sticky header and a bit more padding, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Padding is always good.
You're right. Apart from that, let's move forward. As seen on, everyone's covering it, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's the advantage you have with Lewis Hamilton launching it.
So we see this kind of a, what do you call it, like a paper tier effect?
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. That's
$40.
Interesting. I always wonder how that's done. Like, I want to do more stuff like this, but I always wonder, is it like a SVG that kind of overlays on top?
I think it's like, don't mind the dogs. I think it's maybe like a hover. So this is the normal image. You hover on it, and then they have this cropped out image, cropped out in this shape.
Oh, that's an easy way to do it then.
Right.
That's smart. Okay. That's very smart.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
They're spelling it ambar. It's like almost like umber.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much, I think, going back to some sort of roots. I mean, even with this imagery, as we'll see further, I'm sure it has something to do with some region. First distilled non-alcoholic blue agave spirit that takes the craft of tequila beyond proof.
Okay.
And I have no clue what any of that meant.
Yeah, it's, the first part is like, okay, I get it. But how popular is blue agave spirit? How many people know about it? And then, the last line is, they're playing around with the copy. So they're having fun.
Beyond proof. So this is something that they've done on the hero image as well. Go beyond proof with Almave. What does it mean when they say go beyond proof? Do you have any idea? I'm not able to grasp it properly.
Proof by itself is basically the alcohol percentage. And so maybe going beyond proof is that, we don't need actual alcohol. We are
Makes sense.
beyond that. Maybe that's what it is. I mean, although I would have loved for that to be more clear, obviously.
Almave is not tequila. It's the only non-alcoholic product that uses high-quality blue agave.
Okay.
Interesting. So generally, we would have had blue agave tequilas maybe, rooted in Jalisco, Mexico, to create a complex non-alcoholic spirit. As I told you, it must have some sort of inclination to some region, some culture for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even this image, I mean, these two images look so much well. What will you call it? Choreographed, art directed, almost like illustrations.
Yeah, almost like maybe you can say cinematography for these are very strong. They have a sort of a bluish tint, and it feels like the lack of light. It feels like it's grainy.
Yeah, lack of contrast.
Like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's that's the kind of thing we're missing a lot of rebranding nowadays. It's actual real life photography. Well, and that plays into the idea of like, okay, maybe some stuff AI generated and what's the real stuff. But here I think it's obviously real stuff and it's well done.
Really, yes. I don't like this part, I'll be honest. As seen on SIP 10.
And
I don't know what that means. So these are the places where you'll find, I guess, the alcohol.
Where you'll be able to buy it.
Right, you'll be able to buy it, maybe taste it. So that's fine, but I don't know. I don't like the placement of it or the way it's showcased.
Yeah.
Instead, you could have, just all the logos as you'll see on like a Mr. Beast Feastables website or something.
Yeah. Sometimes that sort of the color of that sort of lemony doesn't work here. It's not different enough with the white, and it feels too jarring when you put it against the orange right below it. Maybe that could have worked as like a black, variant.
That makes sense. Moving on, we have amber, old-fashioned, we have blanco margarita, and we have amber caraylo. Is that how it's pronounced? Spanish cocktail made with espresso. That's interesting.
What happened to the hover effect? I miss it now. Where did that go?
So that's what I was coming to actually, because you'll see quite some inconsistencies with that. So there's this, as we see this button, there's this kind of a hover with this button.
Okay.
No hover.
No.
Different hover.
Oh.
Similar button to this one, but different hovers.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't have a hover, which is not good. This one doesn't have a hover, not good.
Yeah.
Again, the hover is itself the button, not great. Doesn't have hover.
It feels like we're 90% there or 95%, and we just need some of those little fixes.
Yeah. Some finishing touches.
Yeah.
But this looks good. I mean, photography-wise, that's why it's almost viral on the internet.
Yeah,
people are liking
very
it a lot.
Strong. And I think afterwards they did the Photoshop magic of kind of creating that sort of aura around it, and as if like the glow and the light shining off. That's a really nice touch. I really like the use of like the natural kind of rocky marble material underneath. That's a nice touch as well.
But only thing I would have liked is, because it's oranges, it's blues. So instead of having this lime color, then this peach color, it kind of takes away from that. I don't want to use the word ruggedness. What's the word? Dark vibrance, maybe? As you can see, like the aura, the dark blues, it's almost like a night scene. This is almost like a heavy sunset. So this this entire section could have been black, and it might have looked good, or even white for that matter. Yeah, because I mean, in terms of color direction, in terms of the cinematography, it's pretty good, as you can see with this one as well. Pretty neatly done. Interesting. So it's two people. Yes, there's a co-founder as well. I forgot about.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty famous distiller.
Yeah. Right? Lewis must be the one who's like, obviously he's the face of the brand, right? He's the, we're piggybacking off of his momentum, but also it must be a sort of a drink that is close to him, something maybe he's into tequila and he wants a non-alcoholic version, just like how Tom Holland wanted a non-alcoholic beer. And then he partnered with a founder who's probably an expert in blue agave spirit. So that's what we're seeing.
Very interesting. And yeah, I really like this one. Now that is a footer for sure.
Yeah. That's really nice.
this effect, this almost rocky texture, like you've carved it out of a rock or something.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
It's really interesting. That could feel very dated because, if you go into Microsoft Word and you try to put in like word effects, there's ways you can do that in PowerPoint as well. That was like the old era of graphic design where everybody wasn't using Figma. But here, using that now, today, and still making that work is a testament to kind of how well put together they've done for this package.
Very much. That makes sense. Again, beautiful imageries. Very nicely done. Let's see. Let's play the video. Sure. So they just went to a blue agave farm.
Yeah.
And got lots of pictures, hundreds of pictures for their entire brand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then this was created. But very interesting, as if it's forged from fire itself. Yeah, because glass is forged in fire, literally.
Yeah.
So it's almost, the word is probably some sort of a rugged vibrance, if that's what we can call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This looks
and
really
it matches the extreme sports background of Lewis Hamilton as well. Right.
Very much. Makes sense. Moving forward, founder's note. Thrilled to introduce you to Almave. I've always loved a good tequila, but on days or nights when I needed a clear mind, either the night before a race or while hanging with friends, could not find an authentic non-alcoholic option. And you were completely bang on with that assumption. He likes tequilas and he wanted something without alcohol. So Lewis Hamilton, founder.
Yeah. I think he was knighted by the UK. So
very
by
interesting.
Britain.
Master distiller, yes, Ivan Saldana Oyarzabal. Shout out to you for bringing this actually to life.
He's a PhD.
Yes, so this is always a good start, as we saw with Barrow as well. Tom Holland working with a famous person, credible in their space, similar to this. So two products have been launched.
Sure.
One is Amber, the other one is Blanco. And so it's interesting, it's not all in English. That's great. Honoring traditional processes. Almave is handcrafted with blue agave harvested and distilled in Jalisco, Mexico. True expression of blue agave without alcohol. I like it. This glow effect really does it for me. Very vibrant. Toast to any occasion, or put your mixology skills to use without compromise. Amazing graphic design, pulling from the nature itself, pulling from the tree itself.
Yeah.
So
there's a very natural. Yeah. There's a very naturalistic vibe to this. The sort of the ambiance, the gradients that they're using. It almost feels a little bit like alchemy, and even like the very, very rich, kind of like gemstone colors of the bottles themselves. They kind of give you that idea too.
Makes sense. And even with, I don't think I've seen any section that's without images. Even this has a background as an image. This is an image.
Yeah.
There's 3 images. So very neatly done, very, as you said, mixing the naturalist kind of tones.
Yeah.
They can just fix up some design things. And that's about it. Okay. We're about to miss this. This is fun. We have hot punch.
Those are nice.
Margarita.
Yeah.
Desert water.
Different recipes.
They had a lot of fun going for photography, that's for sure.
I like the behind the scenes photography. I think it's a very strong touch. Shows you kind of how the whole process works, and you feel like you trust it more because you know where it's coming from.
Absolutely. And again, we have that similar color grading, similar style of the imagery. Very nicely done. Yeah. Very neatly done. Yeah. Only thing might be some graphic design principles, but other than that, we almost got lost in the photography, the colors. It's really nicely done. Shout out to you, Almave. Shout out to Lewis Hamilton, one of the goats of the game. Really nicely done. Looking all the best for this venture from him. And hope you guys learned something. Drop your comments, whatever you learned. Good luck. See you.